Tina, and thank you for joining me today to be interviewed about your business as a member showcase for the FAB Business Club. So I've got the same 8 questions that I ask everybody. So we'll work through those, and I might add a few more in if you're not talkative enough. But the first
I don't think that'll be a problem.
Well, I know, but I just like to say that just in case I throw a wild card in for you and you're not expecting it. So my first question is, how long have you been in business?
Well, that's an interesting question, because this business that I'm in now is actually even in pre-launch, so kind of like 0. It's not even a baby yet, it's still a fetus.
Okay.
But in terms of having been in business before, I have been, I guess, freelancing and had a couple of odd other business ventures for about 20 years.
Okay, so you're not brand new to business,
No,
then. It's not like somebody's thinking, gosh, she's brave. No?
Yes. No, I'm not. I'm stupid, maybe, but not brave.
Okay, lovely. So what's inspired you to start this new venture?
So over the last sort of 6 or 7 years, I've been experiencing that lovely midlife melee and perfect storm of menopause and a lot of life changes with family, particularly. We've had about 13 bereavements over the last 6 years, and with both our fathers have gone, our mothers are still here, but we've lost pets, we've lost friends, we've lost other family members, and I kind of reached a bit of a burnout really in 2021. But one of the things that's really kept me going through it all is my creative practice and creativity. And last year I had some coaching from a very lovely lady called Cynthia Morris to help me get my creativity kind of back into the center of my life, as opposed to just kind of on the periphery as it has been for a while. And out of that came this idea of gathering the bones, which was essentially ways in which I can help and guide other women who are going through that perfect storm of midlife, to kind of find their way through, to hang on to their own bones, their indestructible self, the essential parts of themselves, the bits that are really important, the bits that are their kind of core essence, and to find their way through that. I'm going to use another metaphor now, through that kind of dark forest, and guiding out into the light. It's not coaching, although I guess there may be some elements of that in there, but I'm not setting myself up as a coach. It's actually going to be an online magazine.
Oh, interesting. So when are you expecting to launch?
I'm aiming to launch the first issue in October.
Oh, so not long then.
Not long. No. And I'm using a platform called Substack.
Oh yeah.
To do that.
I've got an account. I haven't done anything with it yet.
Well, I've been playing with Substack for the last year with a little Substack called Art Making from the Garden and Other Wild Places, which is basically me making art from pigments that I've made myself from the garden.
I've been following that you do that on Instagram as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do it on Instagram as well. And that was a bit of a practice one. So I've now got a little bit more knowledge and a little bit more savvy about how to use it. And it just seems the perfect platform for what I want to do, because I can bring long form writing, short form writing, podcasts, videos, make it a real kind of multimedia experience, and bring in all of the other lovely ladies from FAB, because I can interview them and have them contribute in various ways, because they all have something that they can bring to the party.
That's exciting stuff. So far then, in your fledgling business that isn't yet quite launched, but will be very soon, what would you say your favorite thing is about it?
I think my favorite thing is the fact that I get to pull together all of the knowledge and experience and reading and studying and everything that I've kind of been doing over the last couple of decades, and put that together in different formats. So it's creative. That's the kind of key thing for me. It's a creative outlet and a creative business.
So essentially, it sounds to me like what you've done is all the things that you love doing, you've brought them all together and are going to be monetizing that in some way. So you've sort
That's
of
the plan.
created your perfect job.
I hope so, yes. That was the aim.
Exciting. So what's your least favorite thing about being in business?
Oh, the least favorite, I think, is learning some of the technology that I need to do. I'm a real analog girl. Give me pen, paper, and paint and those kinds of things that I can just do it off the computer, and I'm a happy girl.
Okay, so that's quite interesting then, that this business is going to be like a virtual online business. And
yeah,
actually so
it is I can see the way in which I can bring all of my favorite bits to the world and create something that can reach people, women obviously, although I guess men can join in too, but I can reach women anywhere.
Yeah, and
anywhere
that's
in the world,
the thing, isn't it?
anywhere.
With technology, it does allow us to meet and reach people that we would never ever come across 20, 30 years ago, even 20 years ago.
Well, no, exactly. Yeah. And and I know my audience is of course midlife women, but there are not all of the midlife women out there are going to be really drawn to what I'm putting out for them. For some it'll be a turn off. You can't please everybody.
No.
But I know that actually there's a lot of other women out there like me who are really yearning for this. And I yearned for it 3 or 4 years ago, and I know that it will appeal to a lot of women, but they may not just be all local or based in the UK. They could be anywhere in the world.
Gives you a bigger pond to fish in.
It does.
Exciting stuff. So what do you wish, so going back and obviously using all your experience then that you bring into your new business, what do you wish you knew sort of like years ago when you first started in the freelance world that now that you would say to your younger self? What advice would you give to your younger self?
Well, this is an interesting one, because actually the thing that I wish I'd known when I first started out is something called human design. Have you come across human design?
I have. I don't know much about it, but I have heard of it in the last probably 6 months or so.
Yeah. So under the human design profiles, there's four of them, and one of them is kind of split into two. I'm what's known as a projector type, and the projector type does not have a sustainable source of energy. So just to kind of give a brief overview, because otherwise people will probably think I don't know what she's talking about. So the 4 types are generators and manifesting generators, reflectors, projectors, and manifestors. And when I first learned about it, the lady that I learned from described it as being like a torch. So the projector is the bulb of the torch, and as a projector you shine light for other people, so shine light on the path so other people can see where to go. The generators and manifesting generators are batteries. They are the batteries in the torch. They're the ones with the sustainable energy. Reflectors are kind of like the little silvery bit around the bulb, and the manifestor is the switch. So the manifestor can kind of switch things on and off, if you like. So for me as a projector, because I don't have a sustainable source of energy, I can't just do the kind of perceived wisdom of of kind of marketing, where you do this, 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 you get, you know, and there's a kind of a whole head of steam that you build up, and you know, all this energy that you put behind it, your campaign, all that doesn't work for me, because I don't have the energy to sustain it, but I also have to wait for the invitation. That's my kind of strategy, is to wait for the invitation. And what that basically means is be visible, be out there, look for, you know, you sure invite other people into what you're doing, but just be mindful of the invitations that you're getting, because not all of them will be right, and you have to sort of, you know, process that through your kind of body. You know, does this feel right to me? Does this not feel right to me?
Discerning, I suppose. Discerning,
and also being aware that if you invite somebody to do something, and it's not right for them at that point in time, that's fine. You know, it's not one of those lovely kind of persuasive selling things where you kind of keep going back and going, well, are you sure you don't want it? Are you sure you don't want it? I've got this fabulous thing for you. That kind of thing just doesn't work for me. And I think when in one of my earlier businesses, then I was very much kind of following the perceived wisdom of how to make it work, how to get clients, how to, you know, I kept banging on a door that wouldn't open, frankly, and it was exhausting. And now I'm not doing that.
And so, it feels better, feels more aligned.
Exactly. Absolutely. Excellent. Absolutely.
Excellent. So obviously you've been a member of the FAB Business Club, or FAB Network as it was, Business Club as it now is, for the last couple of months. So can you describe to me what inspired you to join? What was it about it that you thought, this is the right sort of place for me to hang out?
Well, obviously I've known you for a long time, and followed the progress.
About 8 or 9 years, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
About 9. About 9 years.
Yeah, and I followed the progress of FAB, and it was always kind of at the back of my mind that actually it was something that I would like to be part of, but I didn't. It wasn't really the right time, because I didn't have any business in the last sort of few years, and didn't have the energy to put anything into a business. So it was 2 or 3 months ago when I finally got to have a visitor pass to come along, and the golden ticket to come and join in, and was starting to think about this new business. And I thought, now is the right time, because what I need is that support to help me get this off the ground. You know, that energy of other women who are doing their own thing. And so that was it. That was what got me in. It was the right time.
Excellent. So what would you say is your favorite thing about being part of the community?
I think actually it's the camaraderie and the fun and the joy that we have. Our meeting on the face-to-face meeting we had on Wednesday, it was just so much fun. You know, we were all having a bit of a laugh and a giggle, and it wasn't all serious, and I didn't feel like I had to be on my best behaviour or have, you know, my pitch all nailed down, and, you know, all of those kinds of things. And I don't feel any pressure in the group either. I don't feel any pressure to be anything I'm not, to be finding business for other people. It's just a great fun group, and you sense that support from everybody, you know, and everybody's been so kind and so welcoming. I would definitely say to anybody who's thinking of joining, give it a go, because if you're looking for that kind of support and fun and help to build your business but in a more organic, dynamic way, then I'd say FAB Business Club is for you.
Lovely. That's music to my ears, because I think when I first set out to create the community. It was very much about what I needed and what I wanted, and I hadn't been able to find everything in one place. So, you know, I'm part of other women's networking, and there was nothing wrong with them. Everything was fine, but there was just bits missing, and I wanted it to be just right. And I'm so full of gratitude that I've managed to start gathering this clan sisterhood of women around me who are like-minded, and I think everybody genuinely wants to support each other. And it just really fills my heart with joy. It really does. So thank you so much for taking that leap of faith with me, because I suppose by the time you joined, we kind of knew what we were doing. A year ago, I didn't it? When the first people joined me, it was kind of like, come on this ride with me. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's just see. So it's great that people are still there and renewing their membership. So that's wonderful. So how can people get hold of you, Tina, if they want to know more about this business venture of yours? Is it purely on Substack? Do they look for you? What is it called? What do they search for?
Okay, so it will be called, because it's not live yet, but it will be called Tina Bettison Writes, and the Substack and the magazine is going to be called Gathering the Bones. But if they look for Tina Bettison Writes, then they will.
So it's Writes like WRITES?
Yes. Yeah. But in the meantime, they can certainly email me on tina@tinabettison.com, and my website that will have a link through to the Substack once it's up and running is mavericksoulstudio.com.
Okay. So, and obviously you've got your Instagram account. Is that a public account or is that private?
It is a public account, but it's not a business account.
Yeah.
It's more of a personal account, but that's at Tina B Beloved.
Okay, so they can get a sense of who you are.
Absolutely.
Whether they want to be part of, get the cut of your jib.
That's the one.
From what you're posting. Well, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for spending time with me this morning and explaining to me a little bit more about your exciting new business venture. I wish you all the luck in the world, and I'm sure we'll get to hear a lot more about it as things develop within the business club. So thank you for that, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Lisa.
Bye.
Bye.